We live in interesting times. Supporters of both major candidates in the 2024 presidential elections claim to love liberty. Most of them, however, oppose strong federal government powers only when they find themselves in opposition. Those who so often flip-flop on the issue of liberty for political expediency urgently need a dose of Hayek. These days, his ideas are more relevant than ever. As global elites embrace newer forms of collectivism, Hayek can be our antidote to the allure of political controls. He reveals the necessity to rely on decentralized knowledge. Hayek explains the emergence of spontaneous order and advocates for intellectual humility in policy making. No planner can replace the coordinating function of free individuals in the marketplace. Comprehensive economic regulation destroys autonomy. Mass surveillance violates privacy. It's getting harder and harder to avoid political control. Hayek helps us to see that new global challenges demand respect for bottom-up solutions. In his bestseller, The Road to Serfdom, Hayek warns that economic decisions about the allocation of scarce resources, the relative prices of goods, the wages of different kinds of labor, and various business strategies cannot be made in a collective manner. The political process contains no mechanism to sort out all conflicting views on such issues, in an attempt to form common opinions about them, such that would result in lock, stock, and barrel plans for effective actions in the pursuit of the most desirable outcomes. The only way to construct a rational economic order is to allow individuals to answer these questions informed by free market price signals, in response to fluctuations of supply and demand, reflecting the constraints of the producers and the desires of the consumers. Replacing self-interested, decentralized, entrepreneurial decision-making with the wisest and most benevolent commissars can only cause chaos and an inevitable economic collapse. Hayek emphasizes the importance of utilizing local knowledge dispersed in the minds of billions of people participating daily in countless global market interactions. No single political leader, industry expert, or bureau of planners can operate effectively and efficiently a complex system such as a modern economy. Pretending to be able to control a network that you do not understand based on information that you cannot obtain is a dangerous delusion. That is how socialist and interventionist governments limit opportunities for wealth creation. Real leadership, Hayek argues, means creating space for individuals to make their own choices and for communities to solve problems at a local level. Central planning of the economy in the pursuit of stability can only cause stagnation. True progress comes from individuals taking risks and learning from failures. Protecting liberty requires humility from leaders, trust in people, and respect for the rule of law over arbitrary power. There is no greater delusion than the belief that a central authority can master the boundless complexity of a free society. Hayek shows why such arrogance is not only intellectually flawed, it also causes economic ruin, social discord, and political oppression. Markets are not just an efficient tool for the creation of wealth, they are the only mechanism capable of coordinating decentralized information. When planners substitute their personal preferences and limited understanding of needs and constraints for the choices of 300 million unique individuals, they strangle progress. Good governance does not require selecting the best experts to command every lever of society. It's about stepping back. It's about creating the legal and institutional framework in which free individuals can act, fail, and succeed. Freedom allows a society to correct, improve, and grow stronger through trial and error. That is not a weakness of liberty, it is its genius. Hayek warns that freedom is threatened by those who offer something very seductive: security. Trading liberty for comfort will leave you with neither of those. Guarantees of employment, price stability, or protection from market risks may sound appealing, but they come at a cost, and that cost is control. Progress, innovation, and growth require risk-taking. A society shielded from failure is a society that will never allow success to emerge. When the state promises to relieve us of economic anxiety, it must necessarily take control of all economic decisions. It must plan what to produce, where to work, and how much to earn. But in doing so, it must also override the very choices that define a free life. Hayek argues that security is the byproduct of a society where individuals are free, institutions are stable, and opportunity is abundant. That is the only kind of security consistent with liberty. Hayek champions the rule of law over arbitrary commands. It's the difference between drive on the right side of the road and you may drive today, but only if we approve your destination. One protects liberty, the other destroys it. Central planning issues targets, not rules. It relies on bureaucratic discretion rather than principled restraint, and it cannot help but favor some at the expense of others. As planning expands, so does inequality, not inequality of income, but of treatment. Some get licenses, others don't. Some industries are subsidized, others regulated out of existence. Because individuals will not all voluntarily surrender their plans to a central authority, coercion becomes necessary. The temptation to solve every social problem through design, decree, or central direction is as powerful today as it was in Hayek's time. But the path to prosperity is not paved by planners, it is forged by free people.